there's guaranteed, as long as we have tax incentives, to be between 10 and 20 large feature film productions a year. That means that there needs to be a camera house, so that if there's, so the camera rentals can happen, so that ancillary equipment can happen, so that if there's a camera breaks or a part breaks, someone can locally source that stuff. So we now have 3 big and several indie camera houses and camera rentals. They then come to us and say, look, when we're not booked, we can rent, because we're doing great, we can rent this out at an indie rate. So now a filmmaker that made their first film on a Canon 7D can rent a Scarlett, can rent an Epic, can rent cameras that provide them, and send your members over and we'll do some tests, right? So it's not even film school anymore. You don't have to go to film, like you can go test out the latest, fanciest camera and they're going to help out. They're here. They're New Orleanians that have a thriving business relative to the film industry, and they want to see more films being made here because that benefits them too, and they want to see indie films because that represents their community and culture, and so they give away free and discounted services. And so then that person can then say, I can now train on this Epic and I can use this to film my next film, which ups the quality of the film, which increases the possibility that I'll get investors. Like all of this stuff is connected together. I hope that a kid from UNO who's seeing Michael Goy speak. Oh, that's Michael Goy. So we had one of our local filmmakers, born and raised in Lafayette, lives in New Orleans. She's a female DP, which is really rare. She goes out and does this masterclass at the American Society of Cinematographers. That she paid for. She went to LA and did it, and she just was really interested in getting it's like a boot camp, a week-long cinematography boot camp. She comes back, the ASC contacts Michael Goy. Michael Goy calls her and said, hey, I heard you at the boot camp. You want to come be on set? And she gets to shadow like a living legend cinematographer on set 3 days, and he invited her. Like these are incredible opportunities, and she's making now. Oh, and that's like it's just the connections are great. Like so, we receive funding that we wouldn't receive without the industry here. We're able to bring in people as part of our educational component. So last year for Sync Up Cinema, we brought in Franklin Leonard, who started the Blacklist, which is the 100 best unproduced scripts in Hollywood, and now he's got an online platform for it. So another filmmaker originally from Lafayette who lives in New Orleans had a script. He put it up on the Blacklist. It got such positive results and all these offers to purchase the script that he actually was like, no, actually, if it's that good, he took it down. They did a successful Kickstarter campaign that was in part supported by our relationship with Kickstarter. And now right today, they're in the swamp south of Lafayette, filming with a Lafayette native cinematographer, a New Orleans native cinematographer, a script that's written by a Lafayette native about the swamps below Lafayette. Every single member of that crew is a Louisiana native or resident, and they're producing their own film based on relationships and opportunities that they were able to build through the kind of circle of interest and the buzz that's around production in Louisiana right now. And they're going to make a great film, and hopefully they'll sell it, and then they'll make a bunch more films, and they want to stay here. They have no desire to go to Hollywood. They don't want to leave. They're born and raised. They're Cajuns. So and now they have an opportunity that I guarantee you they wouldn't have had if we didn't have this. So I'm personally very invested because I see these stories all the time,